actually doing this.
Yeah, man.
If I'm being for real with you guys.
Yo, for real.
When you brought it up, I thought it was just like it's going to be a combo for about a week. We're going to plan it out and then just kind of let it fizz out into nothing.
You just kept pushing it, man.
Dude, he really did.
Wow,
like,
this is great. This is actually happening, yeah. Like, this guy's really pushing it every single week. He was honest, like, yo, let's get this done.
Again, I thought it was going to be like, yeah, man, that does sound real cool.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I bought everything. I was like, oh, my God.
For real, just one day he was like, I bought everything. Let's do it.
I felt like at that point, I was like, we're in too deep.
You felt like now I have to do this?
Yeah, I was like, oh.
No, I think I was just sitting at work and then I don't know what clicked. I don't know what.
The name.
The name came, RedCordHouse came after the idea of making a podcast.
I don't, yeah.
Was that not what triggered you to go buy everything, or you just were already full force?
Okay. So after he came out with the name RedCordHouse, or no,
okay,
you gotta give credit to her.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in a bit. Yeah.
But no, so I was like, fuck it, man. Let me just go buy it. And then I saw the equipment, and you know what we have now is not what we initially used. I think it's somewhere in the back in the closet.
What did we use again?
It's a little.
It was a different switch.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
dude. He got that one like a couple days after, and I was like, man, that's legit. I was like, that looks so nice.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah, and then I don't know, man. One thing after another. Next thing you know, we're painting rooms and cameras, and
oh yeah, man, that room was an experience for sure.
But that was a whole nother push too. When you push this, like, you know what? I just bought the paint, so
he dropped it off.
Yeah, that's when I was like,
black
damn.
and white. I was like, oh,
because I knew we weren't gonna do it if we just said it, you know. And I was like,
he took initiative.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go buy this paint, and it's gonna be sitting there. And if it's sitting there, it's gonna either bug him or bug me, and it's gonna get done eventually. But after the walls were painted, I was like, this is it, man.
They doubted us too.
It's legit.
Tactic.
We're amateur painters. And it came out pretty good, man. The lines are crisp.
Because of me, after I taught you how to do the edges. What do you call it? Cutting.
It's called cutting.
Just painting the edges.
Hey,
bro.
by the end of it, y'all were saying it left and right. We need to cut over here.
I wasn't saying it.
He was. Well, you weren't here, really.
Yeah, because we were laughing
at
at
you. Whole wall left. Anyway, so the name.
Oh yeah, the RedCordHouse. So we were trying to figure out what name, and I think I made like a list of 15 names.
You had like 15 names already set.
None of them hit.
None of them really hit.
And then Hernan over here comes out with his first shot.
No, I think first you came up with something else.
I was like the initials. I was like, it needs to have our name, something.
Yeah, that was
regarding
too corny.
either where we're at or our initials. RedCordHouse is Rudy, Chris, and Hernan.
Right. But you wanted to put our names in the actual.
I did.
In the
You
actual
you didn't say
name.
RedCordHouse yet, though.
No, nobody has said RedCordHouse.
You were like, let's do Rudy, Chris, or I'm Hernan.
I'm throwing out suggestions,
bro.
No, you just said RCH, and that was it. So I was like,
RCH.
I was reading the group chat. I was reading what y'all were saying the whole time, and I was like, just scribbling stuff. I was like, no, that looks weird. That looks ugly. And so I was thinking about it the whole day, and then finally, like, I was thinking about what you were saying, and then what you were saying, because you had some general like names too, and then I don't want to get too like corny or anything, so I was like, let's make it something general. Let's make it something that incorporates our names, and so I think I just kept reading RCH. What words can I come up with that start with RCH, HCR, whatever? And so at first it was like red. What if we do something with red? Like for Rudy, and then chord, it was just like, it just came out like, I was thinking
Rudy's
for
like
guitar
a music
strings.
guy, right? Like,
yeah,
we hear.
So you had
Rudy
chord
play,
as CHORD at first.
Yeah, at
right?
first it was CHORD.
like
yeah,
a musical chord.
That's what I was thinking. And then house, just because it's like,
we're recording in a house.
We're in a house.
Yeah,
so it all makes sense.
And it's not too specific. It doesn't like really mean much. It's just like,
yeah,
it's our.
I remember
initials.
when you sent that, and I was like, man, this actually sounds really good.
Yeah,
I think after we put it on the visual design, once we saw it,
I'm a visual person, so whenever you did that,
I was once I saw it, I couldn't get my mind off of it. I was like,
yeah,
this is it. And then we were also like, let's go look at other alternatives, see how this looks or whatnot.
But we stuck with it,
and we stuck with it. Nothing else hit. Like,
yeah, I was trying to sketch stuff up. I was putting it on the computer and everything, and yeah, it didn't look as clean as that. It didn't look as eye catching as that.
And then and then hearing it from other people now. So your cousin Anthony, he was just messing around at the gym. He's like, "Hey, are you guys RedCordHouse?"
Yeah,
and then he's messing around, but just hearing it, bro,
at first,
kind of.
At first, whenever like I introduced it to like some family members. They were like, RedCordHouse? And at first it sounds a little, I was like, yeah, but say it like like a normal person. Oh, RedCordHouse. Like, and they're like, oh, okay. Whoa. And they get into it, and I'm like, yeah, so RedCordHouse. And they're like, okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna get a podcast at RedCordHouse.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tune into it. I mean,
it definitely grew on me a lot.
Yeah, it really flows. I really like it. It definitely flows pretty good. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. And then these couches were what from? You already had these?
Oh yeah, this is when I moved to Colorado, and then I moved back, and they were just sitting in the storage room, and I was like, either gonna sell them or put them to use. And I mean, I feel like we saved the good money on this.
Oh yeah, yeah. These came in clutch for sure, and
they're
nice too.
Get them out of storage, bro. I mean, come on. Wait, am I storing these for you? No, I'm playing.
No, man, here we are, and now it's like, so it's our first episode. It still feels surreal.
Yeah,
it's me.
I mean, we've had a couple trial episodes, clips, trial episodes,
and it's been fun. Honestly, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's been really fun.
Straight up interrupt you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
It's been fun. Like, it just feels like I'm talking to you guys like we normally do.
Well, yeah. I mean, remember, the room orientation had to switch up drastically. I mean, at first we were gonna be on that side.
Yeah.
And we brought the couch all the way on this side for this wall. We moved the desk around. And then whenever we first started, man, it took 4 hours before we even got like a 10-minute clip done, and then we couldn't even export.
No, dude, and then I saw the first one we did. I tried to record separately on each camera, and then sync them up together in Adobe Premiere, and dude, just to make one change, it was 2 hours. It was just so big of files. And I couldn't even. I almost gave up, bro. I almost gave up. I was like, I'm not fucking doing this.
That could have been the death of the podcast. Was we didn't know there's so much, and all of this. I mean, you guys are in this world as far as video, camera. I'm just sitting down talking.
He's like, I'll bring the house.
Yeah, I'll provide the room and the house. But dude, I had no idea how y'all set this up. So I'm glad you figured out a way to do that because I
think it kind of to a point where I had no choice. I was like, dude, I spent some money on this, man. I need to figure this shit out before it just sits there. I still have to sell my other one, the first little podcast I bought, because it's just sitting there now.
If you're interested.
If any guys want start your podcast, I have it. Let me know.
That's funny, man.
That's a good tactic, though. I like how you just keep doing things, and eventually you feel like you have to
Well, there's they didn't want to cut you off too, but that's a really good point that you brought up.
Just straight fucking cut me off.
As far as putting yourself in a tough situation where it's either you're going to swim or you're going to drown.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that can go with live too.
I mean, unless you fucking use AI now.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that?
Dude.
I don't know the full extent of it, but I know it could do some crazy stuff.
I've been using it all week, man. It's so insane.
What do you use it with personally?
So at first I was trying to test it out.
Is this ChatGPT?
It's it's ChatGPT. You go to openai.com and you just sign
You got to
up.
register, yeah.
Yeah, you got to register.
What do you put in the
It's free.
What do you put?
It's just
in the question? Oh, it's just your email and a password.
Yeah, it's just email
and your social.
That's it.
Make a fake you.
They're probably selling your info, but fuck it. I mean, it's not like your info.
Okay, Facebook isn't already doing that.
Yeah, it's not like.
All right, go ahead. What do you do?
So I've been using it to help me with my creative blocks. That's where I think it's useful. I've had several creative
inspiration.
blocks.
Fucking cheater.
Inspiration.
Well, it has to do with lack of inspiration, or just you get lazy sometimes, or you can't come up with anything. I'm on the computer.
Yeah, but what do you type? Give me an example of this week. What you did with ChatGPT.
So, for example, I was trying to create a logo for a client. So you just type in there you don't even have to talk to it. Yo, help me create this logo. This is what I want it to look like. I want it to be really colorful. The company's called this. I want it to be these 2 words, and I want it to be describe vintage, apparel, music.
Really? Is that simple?
You just start listing all the things you want it to represent. If you want it to be something cool, you want it to represent the ocean or something, you just type that in. You just describe what you want.
But you said it doesn't give you an actual image. It just...
No, not this.
I don't think ChatGPT itself gives you an image, but I know there's another AI that can generate digital
I've seen
media.
those. I've seen those.
So
AI generated.
I just wanted to try with ChatGPT just because I haven't tried it before, and it gives you a really good description of what exactly you just typed in. It just gives you a description. Oh, here is this word that you just told me. put an arrow right here, and then you just put a bunch of different shapes and colors into that arrow pointing down. It's going to be on the top right, and then you put this other word right under it.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it starts describing like what colors to use and stuff.
So
like
at this point, you're following instructions.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, at that point, you're like, okay.
So you're saying at this point, anyone can do your job.
You hear that?
Yeah, that's where it gets tricky.
Is that what's,
it turns into one of those coloring books where it's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's where it gets tricky.
He's
But
like,
it's good.
like, no, guys, no. But you can't understand the instructions like I can. Okay. Is that what
then
you're saying?
again, you still need a person like good enough to like use these programs, or at least like
I think it's good enough to just understand the instructions from what I'm hearing.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, if I can put together an IKEA console,
yeah, with no words, just pictures.
But the thing is, you still need to create the shapes themselves, and you got to put the colors in there, and like, you got to figure out the fonts and stuff.
Well, yeah,
but we're talking about ChatGPT following instructions.
Right.
We haven't talked about I forgot what, I should have got the name of it, but there's another AI that you can ask it of what exactly you want it to generate, and it gives you the image. You don't.
I've seen those like TikToks. They say
you don't have to design anything.
Do me,
so I
an
use
American Warrior, right, or something like that, and it'll do
Right.
like a really badass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, how did that even happen?
Yeah.
I used that website earlier too. I think it was yesterday. I forgot what it's called. I think it started with an E.
Oh, you use that too? So you're using
used
two
that
things
too.
for
So
your job?
I
Dude,
wanted to try that out too, but it's not really good with like just a simple logo. That one's really good with like just painting like whole pictures. Like if you want to tell it like, yo, I want a picture of like the Mona Lisa, but like in the ocean or something like that with the airplane flying over, it'll paint it like perfectly. It'll paint it like really, really good. All you got to do is just describe just like you were doing with ChatGPT, except this one actually gives you a whole image.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, from the time, how long has it been since we saw the first instance of AI generating? It's only been a couple months.
It hasn't, and it's growing crazy, right?
In those couple of months that we've seen, dude, we've seen a dramatic change of what it's capable of doing.
It's kind of
like in the, I think, sorry,
no, you're good.
the one, that whole design thing or what it can do for you, I think it's cool. Excuse me.
It's helpful.
But I think the scary part's the voice one.
Yeah.
We heard these samples of like music and, well, I know right now what's been trending is like, did you hear the new Drake AI song?
I heard 2 of them, and they're like really good.
Have you heard it, Hernan?
Yeah, I've heard it. The Drake and the Weeknd song, right?
I think that's the one that was trending.
That was one that was trending.
Yeah.
And then there's a different one here. I'll play
Isn't
real
there
quick.
like a Drake and Future?
So the thing with those is that we don't know if we can even play it now because like I recently heard that the label took it all down. Drake got mad. He even posted about it. Did y'all see that?
Did he really?
He posted on his story like something about this is the last straw AI.
Well, they were saying the AI robot's going to take Drake's carear. I mean,
yeah.
Well, look, just take a listen to what it sounds right now. It's AI, just Drake. Let's see, it'll play.
When it's cold out from I got enemies. Okay, the winter's cold out from they try enemy. I swear the winter's cold out from they try.
I'm about to go work out, man.
I haven't heard this one.
Probably cut it before Drake comes after and takes the episode down.
So, dude, does that? I mean, could you tell the difference that's not?
No,
that
well, you know
wasn't
what?
Drake.
I thought that was an actual song when you first played it earlier.
Yeah.
I wonder now. I can't confirm or I don't have any backup, so don't quote me on it. But obviously AI has been in development for a while now, right? To be to this point that it's so advanced that it's very usable by anybody pretty much at this point. Do you think that it's been used in the past and we don't know about it?
That's
to make music. Like, how something like, man, how did these guys come up with so many albums like back to back to back?
A freaking 6-hour album.
Yeah, or
Not
maybe
6 hours,
like a press conference or stuff. We don't know what's real anymore. Imagine we didn't know about AI. Now
that was a motivational speech they got right there.
We have AI now. It's this good? I was like, how do I know you haven't used it before?
That is so true. Well, they were showing, it was kind of building up, like with the whole deep fakes thing.
Oh, yeah,
remember that was pretty crazy. So right now,
I thought that was trippy.
We're entering a whole new era of technology with AI right now. A whole new era.
Right.
Like you guys remember that whole era that we had, which is crazy that we lived through both. the
We're living
smartphone
through a
era.
lot of shit right now.
The smartphone era. Y'all remember we all had flip phones, right? And then the iPhone came out. I think was the first smartphone.
Oh,
I
you
don't
were
know.
you were kind of privileged, man. I didn't
there
get
was
a-
there was an Android.
Hey, I didn't say I had it. I'm just saying, y'all remember when that came out?
My sister had like a touch screen like Android, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
a little flip.
No, it was like
Right?
it was just a
Oh,
big,
straight up.
It was like a brick.
Yeah.
It was
Oh
just
yeah, it
really
was
huge.
actually some Google phones that were. I think those came out before the iPhone or whatever.
So I thought that was really cool. I was like,
Yeah.
man, she gave me her razor, and I was like, man, I don't want this. I want the.
I remember
touch
that
screen.
razor.
Yeah.
I always wanted that razor.
You never had one?
Nope.
I actually had one of those. That
Oh,
was pretty
okay.
cool.
I don't really
Yeah,
get it.
sorry.
But no, man, I just think so. For one, like you were saying, how do we know that they haven't already used it before?
I mean, how we can't know
and
that.
how do we know that they're not going to use it in the future? Like if they make a law, because there's a studio records right now who I forgot who it was. Let's see, Universal Music. They basically said, they petitioned to Spotify, Apple Music, and all these platforms to take it down
Really?
because it's fraud. And this they represent, like it says here, The Weeknd, Nicki Minaj, Drake, Ariana Grande. But how do we know in the future that these artists won't use it themselves and they're just
That's what I'm telling you. Like, what if they've already used it and we don't know? It could be any. Imagine in a couple months, they tell you straight up. They're like, you know what? We have to come clean about it. This album, fully AI. Just didn't have the time for it. I was working on something else. I can kind of believe that one Drake album that he put out that was supposed to get him out of his contract.
all techno type.
I don't know which one it was. The one where it was like, it's like white, black letters.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Oh, I know which one you're
You know,
talking about.
I heard about that. How about the like controversy behind it was that he didn't really try, and it was just to get out of the last album. He needed to get out of some contract.
Yeah. It was
What if
just
that
so
was-
he just made a BS album?
Yeah. So what if that was AI?
I haven't heard that
these
controversy.
songs are really good, and it takes almost I don't know how much effort. I didn't
used
even
it, think about that, honestly.
But I mean, and that's just one thing that's just music. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I've seen videos of guys who can recreate a song, make a song, and then use someone else's artist famous voice. And then they make, but who says someone who doesn't like you or whatnot can call you from a different number, get you talking in a conversation, use your voice, put it into, it's called Resemble AI, and make you sound like you're saying whatever they wanted to say.
So I was gonna go into that as far as like everyday person getting hacked or fraud occurring through this. So at jobs, a lot in the financial industry, there's voice authentication. A lot of it's voice. Okay, so the computer will recognize this is Rudy. He's calling in. You say hi, my name is Rudy. Blah blah blah. Answer a couple questions. Computer's like, okay, you passed the authentication. You're good to go. Like now, if somebody, like you said, the normal phone call, you get recorded. They can get those words from you and then potentially at least pass that second factor authentication.
And I don't even think it has to be like someone has to defraud you that high level. It can be, what if I use your voice and then I call your mom, be like, Ma, like I need some money. Can you just send me like $200? I lost my phone. Can you just sell me to this number? Something like that.
Did y'all get that? I don't know why I remember a couple of years ago. I think it was like a Instagram
What?
or Facebook got hacked to where I got a message from my cousin's profile.
Oh, they got my dad like that.
And they were saying, they're like, hey cousin, right? I'm in a tough spot. I need, and it's not like a ridiculous amount of money.
It's like
It
a
was like,
reasonable amount.
I need
It
like
seems real.
$100 because my tire is
Yeah.
flat. And it's I love my cousins. So I was like, not even
No,
gonna think
did you
about it.
send
No,
it?
I didn't send it. But the reason is because it wasn't like Anthony. It wasn't like Romero or Boyle. It was a cousin that I don't really speak to like that often. So I was like, that's a little weird. Why me? I was like, that's weird. But they caught other people in my family.
They caught my dad.
Really?
Yeah, my dad sent $500.
Dang, he's a real one.
Yeah.
My
my dad's the man
Yeah.
to go to if you need money. But no, I don't know why my dad just didn't even question it, and it wasn't even a family it was a friend.
Dang.
And he said he sent the money, and I think my dad followed it up like a day later. He was like, "Hey man, everything all right?" Blah blah. He's like, "What are you talking about?
And that can put him in a tough
You
spot.
didn't-
Like, bro, what are you talking about?
You didn't send me any money." And then
He sends it, and the guy's on vacation, having a good ass time. He's like, "Is that what you needed my $500 for?"
But no, I remember my dad. He was telling me, how can I get this back? I Zelled him and
You got
I just yeah, like I don't know what to tell you, man. You just it's gone
that
now.
sucks.
Well, I mean, imagine like if I text you,
Yeah, that's crazy.
right?
Because
Like, hey man, I really need some help right now.
no, and not even text no more. Now, what if you call me and I hear your voice,
Dude,
Yeah,
and
now
I
it's-
hear
that would
you
be
telling
scary.
me, dude, I'm short right now, man. I need something. I need $200, man. Can you just Apple Pay me or cash at
Whatever.
me?
I gave you like a weird instructions. Go buy gift cards.
Go
at
buy
Target. Scratch the back, please, and give me the code.
Buy me 3 separate gift cards, $100 each.
Have you seen those YouTube videos?
Yeah, yeah.
Those people there's people on YouTube that dedicate their entire day, like 8 hours a day, wasting their time.
At
The scammers. So you know how you get those scam likely calls?
oh yeah,
I love those videos.
This is scam for sure.
It's where the scammers get scammed. Yeah.
So they use a little voice changer. They sound like an old person. So I guess that's like a rudimentary version of like altering your voice. Was just like they had like a little program that makes them sound like an elderly.
yeah.
So they think they're talking to an old person. And they're like, hell yeah. Like,
Oh, well, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this is in the bag. And 8 hours later, they finally get the cards. They scratch them, but they use the code themselves and they buy all this stuff. And then the scammer like loses their mind because they've been on the phone for like 8 hours, maybe 2 days. Like
I got
back-to-back
this
phone
guy.
calls.
I think I have seen some of those.
Yeah, dude.
I love watching those. They're like an hour long each one, but man, it's so satisfying when
so
they get
funny.
them back in the end.
Yeah.
But look, I'm generally pro technology, man. But like with this AI, I feel like we're heading towards something like the Matrix. Have you guys seen the Matrix? Well, you guys get the gist of it, right?
I get the gist of it.
Yeah.
It's
basically.
like we're all in a simulation. Anyways, I feel like we're gonna be consumed. We're all gonna be consuming content generated by AI on a timeline that's what do you call it?
So you're saying he's gonna get to the point where it's gonna be like, here's the news generated by AI.
Yeah.
Here's a new TV series.
It's all gonna
generated by
be
AI.
our whole timeline is gonna be filled and curated by an AI.
What if in the future, like right now, everything we do is basically human created, mostly 80-90% human created, right? Human experience created. But what if in the future, what becomes that gold experience is actual human experience because everything else is done by AI?
I don't think we'll ever get to that point.
Not in our lifetime.
sure.
Honestly, I don't think.
That's
Like,
we'll ever
like
get
what
to
if
that
like
point.
someone like, for example, playing guitar, like, bro, you can play guitar and it's just an astounding talent because at that point everything's generated by AI, but
So-
this guy can actually do it himself.
So that's what I'm trying to get to. That's why I think we're going to be heading towards a Matrix. And I feel like we currently are the way we're going right now because we don't know what's real and what's not. But later on, I feel like it's going to get to where AI is going to learn how to push our feel-good buttons. It's going to push all the buttons in our brains where it just feels so good that later on we're just going to be like, screw it. I'm just going to watch it, and we're going to learn to accept that
What are you watching
in
over
like
there?
a year or two.
Dude, this guy's on
This
a
guy-
different level. I was
this
gonna
guy's-
talk about. I had like a little funny joke.
He's like, he's
coming
gonna
up,
press
but,
my button, so I'm gonna watch this video and I'm gonna like
like
it.
you're over
Not
here
like
getting
that.
off on AI. No, but here was
Well,
I was
it's-
gonna say as far as like the guitar thing.
Yeah,
You know how we have like hipsters at one point? Like they were like, oh, I like doing stuff old school.
yeah.
Are you gonna be a hipster? I know how to play the real guitar
Ah.
versus an
You're gonna-
AI guitar.
You're
Like
going to be like a boomer, bro.
you're gonna be
Or just
pick up the AI guitar, bro.
or someone that can just draw. Even now, you see someone who can draw. I'm like, damn, that's crazy.
Are you trying
That's
to say like
very
some
talented.
talents are gonna get washed?
No, I think
Or even more
I think
valued.
it's gonna be the end of creativity in a way. Because everything's just gonna be done. But whenever creativity is brought to the table in an AI world, it's gonna be seen like, dang, it's either gonna be seen like, wow, the human created that, you did that.
Imperfections.
Yeah, imperfections become the new. Oh dang, oh man.
Quote of the day.
I don't think so. I feel like I don't think so,
Nah.
buddy. But
He's
seriously,
like, you can't be AI, man.
No, but
Don't be
seriously,
Dwight.
I think it's
He's gonna, be
really
he's gonna be the first to fall.
look right
He's gonna
now.
go 100%
Like
into it.
a lot of people don't think, and that's why it's so popular. Like Taylor Swift or like just like really poppy songs. People don't really care like what it sounds like,
Like
as
Taylor
long
Swift.
as it's really catchy. People don't care. Like us, we probably won't listen to the same music like kids are listening to, but they don't care because it's catchy. We're not listening to it because like it's not like John Mayer or like it's not an actual like guitarist playing it or this guy isn't talented. He's just doing it all on the computer.
Well, that's already
I feel
happening
like-
now, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. It's
A
already
lot of these
happening.
music that come out, it's just all done electronically.
It's all-
They're not a band in a studio anymore. All right, man, get the drums right this time. Your guitar was a little off this time. Isn't it all just done on a computer, like a laptop?
Yeah. I think your battery's running low, Chris.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, in your phone.
Okay.
You can
Switch
switch
off
real
of it.
quick.
Okay.
Yeah, just
But
go
no,
switch it.
I think I for one, I think it's gonna become too. I know I'm still standing strong on my point that I
Yeah.
think human creativity or human experience, it's gonna be really the gold in the future because everything's gonna be AI. It's gonna be what stands out. Okay,
I feel
okay.
like it's definitely going to be valued. That's for sure. I think it's definitely going to be valued, but the numbers are gonna say different, you know?
Let me dumb it down. Let me give you an example. There was a
Let
point.
me dumb it down
that-
for you.
no, let me. So there was a point where before in the ages, the prime thing to do in business was customer service, right? And having a rep, you have a rep to do everything or whatnot. And then slowly everything was innovated to online. No, just go on the website, go on the app, blah blah blah, and everything.
And when that
Right.
compromise in customer service or what?
Right. And then customer service, like, you know what, we didn't even kind of need this because we can do it online on the app and it's just more convenient or whatnot, right? But what if it comes to the end where it comes to a point where everything is all online based, whatnot, and then someone comes back with customer service and the human is like, oh man, I forgot how nice customer service was. And now that's the new competitive advantage, that human experience. It's like a cycle back in it.
That's true.
Well,
I wish we could see it from here, but it hasn't happened yet.
well, what do you think? So, boomers
Right.
really like the human element,
Oh yeah,
100%.
that's all they talk about.
But people are getting younger, right? The younger that you get, do you want that human element, or do you? I still do. I feel like I'm at the border of it. Like I'm at the end of it where I'm like, man, sometimes speaking to a person over the phone and them solving the problem for me, like I like it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to go through it, figure out myself. Because the computer is easily gonna tell you no.
Yeah.
Nah. But if I speak to somebody, I can kind of finesse a little bit. You know how I told you that
Yeah, human
being in
error,
customer
yeah.
service, I know the phrases or words to say.
I know the phrase
I'm
that give
not
me what I want.
to either make the system like, oh, this customer's not happy, or
Yeah.
something that he's like, okay, so he said this phrase, I have no choice but to escalate it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And if it's just a robot thing, the robot's gonna be like, "Fuck you, man. This is it.
Nah, you're fine.
This is the end of the line." So, and that's my point. Like, what if it comes to the point where everything's like that,
Yeah.
and everyone's used to it? It's the new norm, and then some company comes and says, "Yeah, we have that,
We're bringing it back.
but we also have the option of a real human."
I think that's always going to happen. I feel like there's a cycle of things, right? You don't want to be too automated where it's like, well, I'm doing all the work myself. Why am I
Yeah.
going to pay for this? I feel like there's always going to have to be a human touch to something.
Unless
AI
unless
is
the
like really
AI is
friendly.
the customer service version of it,
They're-
that's another beast, man.
Their compromise percentage is 15% every 15% of the time. I'll
and
let it go
AI
your
can
way.
keep a better conversation than you can.
Bro, imagine.
Hey, what if they have AI with some serious riz?
I think they do already.
Like an AI can just speak to you. You know, there's like, nah, I'm not even gonna get into it.
People
but
taking notes. That's a good line.
We can do that with ChatGPT right now. We can ask it like, "Yo, help me get this girl. What do I say to her?
That's
Give me a
little-
good pickup
a
line."
little specific there.
Yeah, man. You kind of jumped to that real quick.
yeah, that's kind of a little too. We thought of that too quick. But no, it's gonna be. Oh man, I don't even know.
So we were talking about, I think you said it's moving on quicker than we expected, right?
Right.
I don't know if you got a chance to see that interview by Elon Musk about the AI.
Is that where he's like saying it, like it's bad, and
He's
they want
basically
he wants to
saying
stop it, right?
He wants to stop. He's saying it's bad, but the reason he's saying it's bad is because apparently you can train it to lie. Imagine a supercomputer, smartest device, lying to you. I would believe it. Like, and it's crazy. It can lie to you. It can withhold information. It can
manipulate you.
manipulate. It can gaslight the shit out of you.
Yeah, man, she's cheating on you.
He's gonna be like, is her phone face down right now? Oh no. But yeah, I mean, I feel like there's gonna be laws that come up right? To
Is
kinda
her
regulate-
location do not find random?
Well, look, I feel like it's all gonna happen really slowly. Like there, right
What
now,
do you mean, bro? Look how
Bro,
many months it's
we-
been and how far it's been. Just this
well, I
few
mean,
months.
with the laws, I'm talking about with the laws.
Oh,
like
say
regulations. Yeah, I thought that's what you were talking about. Sorry, with the regulations and laws, it's gonna happen really slowly because right now there's barely any regulations on like TikTok kind of stuff or
No, there's regulations out there, but there's okay. So there's that thing where they want to do that restrict act. Have you seen into that?
No.
Basically, the way Washington wants to propose it is because they want to restrict what TikTok is doing when sending stuff to China or whatnot. But dude, in that document, there's so much crazy shit on there. Like if you have a VPN, you can go to jail for up to I think it's 20 years and get fined or something. They basically it's the think of it like a digital version of the Patriot Act, and they have access to everything.
TikTok or Washington?
No, Washington, the U.S. government wants to pass the Restrict Act, which will give them access to basically everything, any digital footprint you do right now. And if anything for them is considered, oh no, this is against the Constitution or, it's against whatever, they can make it seem they can arrest you and take you to jail for that. I think that's an overpowered kill, man.
That's crazy. I don't understand the point of that.
But it can also keep us safe, though. You got to think about that. It could also keep us safe. It started cracking down during like the 9/11 stuff. That's when they always talk about it. Is when they started doing most of that stuff.
No, I get monitoring stuff is important, right?
Right.
Check weird search phrases. How to cover up a murder, decaying body, whatever. Those type of things should raise a red flag. But I don't think it should monitor everything that you do. I mean, that's not what we are used to. That's not
America,
that's
baby.
not American. I think the reason that I don't know. I've seen a bunch of theories as to why they're trying to get rid of TikTok, and obviously we know is because the way that information gets passed around nowadays is insanely fast.
Yeah.
Right.
It's super quick, and usually, I mean, you get it from word of mouth via TikTok. A normal person uploads a video, it trends, and you get to see it right then and there, right? But then again, well, because I think it's more real. Because what I hate nowadays, it's the news outlets. It's no longer about.
They had their own agenda.
Well, it's not even about getting it right. It's about being the first to report something, and it's like they don't care what they put out as long as they're first. We're first. But then it could be bullshit. Like you were wrong, like 100%, and then you're telling me what you think is you're passing it off as fact, and it's not right. But you like, I just want to be first to report it.
Yeah,
and you're right. They do have an agenda, and it's frustrating to know that
I think
it's just way more common.
here.
now.
So in the Restrict Act, here's just a summarize. But the Department of Commerce identify so basically anything they consider a threat to the United States. They can hold you accountable. There's one example. There was this guy during the campaign that he made a meme, or he basically fooled boomers and everything, and that he said, text this number and vote for Hillary. And then so many people texted it or whatnot, and then they found out it was fake. Well, it's fake. You can't vote like that, But he got sued. And they put him in jail.
What did he get out of that?
Nothing. It was just for fun. He was making jokes like, "Hey, I'm gonna trick these people. Look at them." He just put like a meme or just making fun of them. People like actually did vote through text, whatnot, and then he was like, "The U.S. was like, oh, you're misleading. This is fraud or
Misleading
whatnot."
the voters. That's actually a really
Wow.
big.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was just messing around, though. I mean,
I don't know. I would have been like, text this number for a Chili's coupon. Look how many people texted. I don't know about elections.
still though, like, dude, if
I get it.
you think you can vote like that, should you even be voting?
Bro, there's some very dumb people. Every warning label that you see is because somebody's done it. I mean, like, do not drink bleach. Why? Somebody drank it and they died.
The new warnings, the new sticker labels on the Tide Pods. Did y'all see that?
Don't eat them.
Yeah.
Because
do not
people
eat.
were eating them.
That's brand new stickers right there. Yeah.
It's like they're like, I did not think I needed to tell you guys this.
But do not.
Do you think other countries have the same as many warning labels as the U.S.?
No.
I've seen some really sick Chinese factory videos. You've seen those?
China is crazy, man.
The safety
Cool.
videos?
Yeah.
That's where I get my
Those are kind
shoes.
of crazy. Oh, yeah.
My reps.
So what's up with that? Is that bad?
What reps?
Are reps that bad?
I don't know, man.
What do you
Honestly,
mean bad?
Like, do you want it
Bad
to
in
come
terms of
from the hands of little children, or do you want it to be whoever?
aren't they both? Aren't they both from little children?
Yeah,
Who
they're
gets-
both.
who
from
gets
little
paid
children,
more?
Honestly, yeah.
Who gets paid more?
as long personally, as long as you look good with them, can't even tell much
I
difference.
mean, is
don't see a
somebody
problem
really
with
gonna
it.
come up to you and be like, "Hey, bro, your shoe's real"?
I bet, bro, grow
I mean,
up,
I think
bro.
okay, maybe like if you run into that one guy or girl, and that one pair of shoes, they're gonna be like, "You're telling me you got
That's so
15K on your feet right now?" You're gonna be like, "Yeah."
I think buying reps is definitely cool, just because, like, you're getting your money's worth.
You heard it here, ladies and
Definitely.
gentlemen.
All right, my man.
Clip that.
No, I think I honestly I could care less, but I think it's fucked up if you want to sell them as they were real and get money.
Oh yeah, that's
That's that's a whole different story.
Yeah, exactly. Spending that big amount of money on shoes is just crazy, man. We just shouldn't have to do that.
I mean, if you got it, then yeah. But
Yeah,
like the
if you got
normal
fucking-
average person that they want a pair of Jordans, I mean, I don't care. You look cool in them. Like,
But yeah, so I wonder if China has all these. You think China has OSHA?
yeah, dude.
Think so?
Do they though?
Yeah, they have OSHA.
Why don't we see more accident videos?
What is
from here?
OSHA? For those who don't know,
OSHA is, I don't know, like,
occupational safety hazards, something.
took the exam, but basically they
Damn.
just make sure that you're following the rules.
I am OSHA certified.
I think I was OSHA certified too.
I
10
wasn't.
hour, that basic 10-hour one.
Yeah, basic 10-hour thing.
Dude, did you hear so talking about China? Did you hear about those Chinese police stations here in the
Oh,
U.S.
what was
that
that?
were
They-
busted?
Can you tell me more about that? Yeah.
I sent you a link to study. No, I'm
we
kidding.
were supposed to go over it.
No, so basically, like, honestly, I didn't even click too much into it, but
Me neither.
there's like
Yeah.
undercover, just Chinese stations.
So they found one apparently. So it's a police station, but fully Chinese, like 100%. And they're set in the U.S. I don't know, to monitor. I don't know, dude. But once they found that one, they found 6 more scattered across the U.S.
What are they doing though?
Well,
you think
no
they're
one-
just gathering data?
I'm
what-
pretty sure
what is
China's gathering data on.
I mean,
And
they had
that goes back to
balloon up.
TikTok though. That goes back to the TikTok thing. I'm pretty sure America just wants that data. They don't care. They don't care that it's hurting children or like people are selling drugs.
Oh, they want to know what they know?
They just
Like, what do you
basically.
really know?
They just don't want anybody else to have it. America's still gonna do it. That's for sure. Because I mean, we do it with Facebook and everything. There's no doubt about that. They admitted it.
Dude, I don't even know why it's a big deal. My data.
What do you
Everybody
mean?
has
Oh,
your
I thought-
fucking data.
I thought you meant China wasn't a big deal here.
No,
in the
China-
US.
I think
China's
that
a
is.
big deal. China's kind of scary.
China's gonna be the new world power, man.
They've been saying that for years, though.
But I think they're getting up there.
Especially
And then what else is scary? It's people saying, like, oh, the U.S. is going down, blah blah blah. And I get it. I mean, you look at what's going on here in the U.S. and yeah, man, it's total
It
crap.
does not look pretty.
But all these people saying, oh, I'm gonna move to this country, I'm gonna that. Shouldn't we stay here and fight and make it better
Well,
instead of trying to run?
they're
Well,
grooming
well,
us, man. They're grooming us with TikTok. That's what they're
well,
doing.
no, that's what
No, TikTok is waking me up.
that's when it comes down to
G.
being patriotic. I feel like it's looked down upon to be patriotic.
Right.
You have to be patriotic to love where you're from and to want to make it better. I mean, I can see what you're saying, Hernan, about the grooming. Like, as far as like the media wise, you see a lot of stuff that makes you not want to like the U.S.
Right.
Right? It's turning you against your own country as far as like, man, where we live it fucking sucks because nobody has this,
Mhm.
this, and this, and this.
So I feel like they're grooming us in a way. They're making us all think different. Not in one way. I think they're making us all
They're
put each
dividing
other-
the country from within.
Exactly. They're putting stuff so let's say they're putting like Make America Great Again stuff on yours. They're putting like really liberal stuff on mine. Like,
Well,
just real
that's just
left-sided
that's,
stuff.
that's just straight up algorithms, man.
Yeah, man.
Also
I mean,
that-
it's kind of weird that you.
That's kind of you put that comparison.
I'm just using it as an example.
is it?
I'm just using it as an example. I'm not saying that's what's happening on mine.
On my feed,
Full disclosure.
why do I
No.
get big titties on my feed?
These TikToks.
That's
are
what
like,
I'm saying.
Why is there a bunch of just ass on my feed? Do you think that's appropriate for kids, sir? Can we go through your likes real quick?
Okay,
Well, that's what I mean, though. They're
No,
they're
I
putting
don't.
us-
I can see your point with grooming. Part of it's just marketing. I mean, they can see what you like. You click on something that might catch your attention. You watch the whole freaking video.
Yeah, dude. All you have to do is just watch it.
Oh yeah,
It's not even liking
and then the
it
sister's gonna be like, "Oh, you like this, motherfucker? Well, how
Watched it
about
for a
you
couple
like
seconds,
this?
that's
Get a
it.
load of this.
Yeah."
It's even more hardcore.
And then I get it. It just divides you more. I think we just have to be more careful of what we intake, and then really do a research of what exactly is going on. Honestly, I think we're a lot better than what we were. I feel like we're now, if anything, more uniting. As more
And at one point, like in
Then
the
before-
US, like
yeah.
what, within like a couple years or what?
between when it was when it was like just straight red and straight blue, like there was a point where I couldn't stand those Trump.
Oh,
fans
when
and-
you can't see the other side.
Yeah, that was dude. There was a huge division there.
Yeah, it really was.
Now, I mean, there's still
Yeah.
a division, but it's not as concrete as it was before.
I feel like a lot of people have a huge misconception of the United States, like us living here. A lot of people think that we have it really bad. And don't get me wrong, it's not the best, it's not perfect, but I've seen so many videos where there's normal people walking like through the streets of like, let's say like India or somewhere over there. You get stared at dirty just for looking different. You get mugged, you get ugliest looks. They tell you get out of here. And it's like, yeah, not everybody is as accepting of what you want to be. Some places aren't built like that. Like if you stand out, that's offensive.
Yeah.
And they don't let that slide. But here, you can walk by, do whatever you want to do. As long as you're not really bothering me, then
Get a load of this guy.
No, so you gotta
it's
think
Pick up the
about-
rocks. You're gonna stone him.
basically do that over there. You're probably going to get stoned. And it's,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's why they say America is the most, it's the most mixed here. Turn off your alarm, bro.
Sorry.
Really?
Come on, man. You
We're
gotta keep
professional.
professional.
We're
man.
professional right
I'm
now.
sorry, guys.
Professional podcast.
Oh my god, I gotta cut that out.
Yeah. So we're going to edit that out.
I'm gonna leave it on just for that.
Okay.
Anyways, what's that? I forgot the word for it. But basically, what's the word for? We're mixed here, basically. Not all the other countries.
Diversity.
Yeah, we're more diverse. We're like the most diverse.
I
that's
learned
the
that in
word.
like elementary school, bro.
Okay, well, I just forgot the word. Sorry, but yeah, we're the most diverse. I've heard we're the most diverse country in the world.
I do like that diversity, but I hate when they try to shove that diversity down my throat.
You know what I miss? I
What?
miss when we used to,
Diversity.
I used to miss when we called it the melting pot. We all melt
you mean
into
by that?
one. We all are one. Now it's like, nah, we're diverse, but we're separate. You can't be like
Separate
me.
but
We
equal.
live in the same place, but you can't be like
Separate but
me.
equal.
And it's like, I don't like that. It's like they, when people get mad about cultural appropriation, I'm like, bro, we live in the same place. Like I can, like, why have a problem with somebody adapting a piece of your culture? People get really mad about that. But in the past, they used to, at least when I was in elementary school, they
like
used
wearing
to,
braids.
yeah, that's a good example. It could be clothing. It could be the way you speak. It could be, people don't know, but they get mad about that now. But back when I was in elementary school, they were showing, we're in a melting pot. We're all one now. And I was like, hell yeah.
Damn.
America, patriotic. But now it's kind of like, nah, no.
Nah, you go
Not
ahead.
really.
It ain't going.
It's only for us.
I feel like
HR?
that really divides us more, man. That really divides us.
What?
When they start doing the culture appropriation thing.
Yeah, like,
that's
no, you
really
can't do
annoying.
that
Nobody
because
ever
that's for
really
them.
cared. I feel like it's still just a small minority of people just putting that out there.
Well, they're saying that we're living through a point where the minority, meaning like the smallest amount of people, have the most control at this point. Like they have so much power.
I
think it's because
I
it's
feel
hot
pretty
takes.
powerless right now.
But that's why they want to say like ethnicity minority. I meant like the minority of like a thought, like a group of
What do you
people.
mean?
Yeah, like a smaller amount of people.
Yeah.
You mean?
Who minority?
lesser
Who?
amount.
Shut up. You're
This
trying to get
guy's
us canceled
thinking-
on the
No,
first
I'm
episode, bro.
I'm trying to understand what you.
He's like, be more specific, please. I'm talking about people with the same ideology that not everybody agrees with.
Okay,
Like it's a lesser group of people
that have more.
that right now have a huge influence on everything.
Wow.
Let that be the media, let that be the
I th-
movies, TV shows, what you consume.
I think that's because they have the hottest take out right now.
Oh, it's trending.
Yeah, it's just trendy to be like that, and they know that, and it's a really hot take just to say something like that, and it gathers like a bunch of attention, and then that's when people start thinking like, oh, this is what we're all thinking like. All right, let's.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's why it's just so big, just because it's just like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Hopefully, we can all come together and hold hands, and maybe it'll be after we all get nuked or whatnot. With all,
Oh, I was
you
gonna
think
tell
that
you,
stuff's still tight? Okay,
It's gonna take.
is it bad that sometimes I agree with some of the things Putin says?
How do you understand?
Like what things, buddy?
Yeah, what? Man, you're really gonna get us canceled on the first episode, huh?
Yeah.
No, I just think like, where he's saying he talks about U.S. being a bully or superpower, and basically, and then in the way we kind of are, man. We sometimes we put our noses where we're not supposed to be, and we try to control the countries. And hey, you should do this, and if it's not right, well, we're doing it for we're gonna fight for democracy or freedom. But really, man, like I think everyone can call that BS by now.
You would think, dude. You would think that everybody has like common sense at least. I don't know if you want to call it common sense or at least agrees with you. There's always going to be a group of people or somebody that's like, nah, you're wrong. We need to do this. And it's like, and then they have their own arguments in defense for it.
Yeah, I heard Putin. Bob, sorry. No, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead. I want to hear this.
No, I had.
what did Putin
You talking
buy?
about my man?
No, actually, yeah.
That's his boy right there.
I heard he bombed his own city today. I think it was today or yesterday.
Was it today, dude?
I think it was.
Look,
yeah.
this
Is that what he agrees with?
we just
Let's bomb
we
the shit
just
out of
said
this
an
thing.
They
example.
accidentally bombed their own city.
Accidentally?
No, search
on
it up.
accident.
Search it up.
Oh,
That's
fuck,
what I
you're a
saw.
liar. This
That
is fake
message.
news. I don't want to come off as being a fake
He's
news
a-
outlet.
I
He
just read the
just said
headline.
people saying news. I don't even know if it's real. He's over here talking about the same thing.
Ah, God.
Come on, Hernan.
I'm a headline reader, bro. You think I read articles? Hell no.
Just a headline reader. See the importance of a headline.
I like that headline reader.
Dude, this guy comes up with quotes left and right.
I mean, but no, something he says, they're agreeable.
I just think he's cool. Whenever he was like ripped as fuck, I was like,
With that bear.
I was like, this guy's pretty cool.
Hey, do you guys think
When
He
they
has
compared him
anything
to
to do-
Biden on the bike,
I heard there was like a theory about him kind of controlling Hezbollah. You guys know who Hezbollah is, right?
yeah,
That
I
little
thought it was Hezbollah.
it's Hezbollah.
Hezbollah. Sorry.
Hezbollah, the hell?
Hezbollah.
There's, I don't know how to explain it. There's a theory going around right now that he's trying to get Hezbollah to go around America and trying to get more people on the Russia side.
If that's his attempt, it's a pretty shit attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
I don't think
thought
that's
he was
true.
I thought he was Arabic.
Is he?
No,
he's not.
No, he's not.
Mm-mm. No, I think he is like
Well,
fully Russian.
yeah, looking at Hezbollah, I've never got the impression that he wants to maybe turn into a Russian
I
asset.
honestly can't watch all the videos of him.
Really? It's so adorable.
I can't.
I love him.
I
I
don't.
love him, man.
I don't think.
Oh,
he's
okay,
that-
you don't gotta say it like that either. It's a little.
It's a child.
He's a,
Relax.
Sorry.
he's a- I like that little kid.
Calm yourself.
I would kiss him, bro.
Okay.
Don't you want to kiss him on the forehead?
No, dude, that's
No,
a grown
that's
man.
a grown ass
bro.
Just me.
man, bro.
You want to kiss a grown ass man on the
He's
forehead?
cute, bro.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god, how much is that? 2 minutes of cutting.
2 minutes right
worth?
there. But no, yeah, I don't think I've ever gotten the impression of Hezbollah trying to.
No, yeah,
take
I don't
over.
think that's a thing.
Okay, now talking about infiltrating the U.S., there was this one theory, and this goes back to TikTok. So China developed TikTok, right? Right? Is that right?
Yeah, they did.
And I got in a way. What if they developed TikTok not to manipulate us or gather data, but to give us so much more freedom? And they're like, the theory is that China on purpose gave us this app so we can spread all these ideas and we can create more chaos between us and our government.
Is it banned in China?
It is. Or they have their own version of it.
Very censored.
Yeah. So what if China's like, hey man, what
Run
if we
wild.
make the people go crazy and wild and basically find shit out about the government, and now they're opposing it? Which in a way, I mean, it's kind of working. I'm over here. I don't see anything else or the Restrict Act or any of that in the news other than TikTok of how it can affect me or mess up my life later on.
Hey, real quick, why do you think India banned TikTok? Because
India banned TikTok?
They banned it like a year or two ago. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So like it's off of everybody's phones. Yeah, completely.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a
no
master
idea.
computer right there in your hands.
You're right. You're right.
We
Look it up
have-
real quick.
The
But no.
ultimate
No,
device
go back
at
to
your
your
fingertip.
thing though.
I don't know what it.
You know what I was
yeah.
gonna tell you? Okay, maybe I'm not as knowledgeable when it comes to overtaking territory and shit like that. What's the point of, let's say China takes over the US? Is it for more space? Like, is that what they want? They want.
What's the ultimate goal? You basically
They want more land. Is that what they need across the world?
You know, I never thought of it. Like
I just
that.
don't understand it. But think about it.
I think maybe it's just removing that threat,
We're chilling.
but they don't know that. I mean, how do?
Okay, so let's say, so you walk into a room.
I gotta take that guy
and
out
that's your first
because
thought.
he threats me.
This guy is around my height, similar build.
I
There
gotta
can
take
only
him
be
out.
1 meter. Is that what it's coming down to? Like your gym nemesis? Like, I gotta be bigger? Is it just like a?
Man,
I just don't really understand it. It's not like we're close.
what?
If I was next to you and you were like,
I mean,
that
what
land's looking a little.
other than the land? What other benefit? Because, dude, if they do come and invade U.S., they're gonna have a hard of a hell time doing that.
Yeah, like it's not gonna be easy, bro.
Yeah,
You know how much money we spend on our military?
dude, not even
we
our
have-
military, just every individual in their freaking house with guns.
What is it? That thing
We
that
are
they
the
say?
military.
We have the biggest and strongest air force, and then the other second biggest, strongest force is our navy.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of
no,
those two.
I get that, and dude, they have a strong navy, they have a strong army, whatever they have it called. I'm just saying, our own citizens.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, go try to take over Chicago,
You
Easily.
can't step foot in Chicago right now.
and I mean,
they took out Walmart from there, didn't they?
Dude, have you heard about
are they
that?
closing Walmarts?
They apparently are closing all the Walmarts.
That's insane.
Why?
Oh, here's the thing from earlier, by the way. I don't know if y'all
What
are
is
still
that?
interested. Almost 3 years after TikTok's largest market, India, banned the Chinese-owned social media app over geopolitical tensions, troves of personal data of Indian citizens who once used TikTok remain widely accessible to employees at the company and its Beijing-based parent, ByteDance.
So they are taking data. Honestly, bro, I could care less, man. I mean, even now I can go to Sweetwater and look at this equipment, and next thing you know it, I'm on this other side and I already see the same. They have my data, man. There's no way of hiding it. Now someone using it, that's totally different, you know.
yeah, but if it's confirmed fraud, there's a lot of places that are like, oh, it's fraud. We got you. Dang, yeah. Give my money back. Take it off my credit.
It's what
Unless you try to finesse the system and it's you, then yeah, you're straight out of luck. You couldn't fake the fraud.
Okay, so you know how you talked about what benefit does China have in invading the U.S.
Yeah.
So what benefit does China have in invading us technologically? Like if they have our data or
That's what I'm
whatnot,
saying. I don't think it's
like
that big of a deal. If I'm being honest, because I can't see the end goal. Obviously,
just
I can't
tear us down.
I can't
Maybe it's just
I
an
can't
ego thing. They want to be the number one.
I can't fathom them wanting to come all the way across and cause a war, killing so many people for, I don't know, because we haven't done that. We don't go to China and we're like, we're gonna, you're getting kind of big. We're gonna start dropping some bombs on you. I don't think we've done that. We've only done it when we needed to.
We only
From
tease
what
them.
I've heard, right? It's
Standing in
like,
Taiwan.
no, it's far. Have you seen that? Like the U.S. chilling with 18 bases around the world.
Yeah.
Just chilling, just hanging out.
What are you guys doing here? Oh, just,
you get what I'm
just,
saying?
just
Like-
chilling. I
It's
get
not like-
your
It's
point.
not like it's like a small. I'm telling you, like they invade the small nations next to them. That is a problem because that nation's by itself. It's hanging out, being peaceful, and then China's like, that's looking kind of juicy there. Why don't you come over here? And they're like, no,
I'm good.
let's not do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. But okay, but
Wait, isn't it crazy that countries are still fighting for land?
that's what I'm telling you. So let's think about it. As far as like the history of the world, everything has been conquest.
Right.
Everything. Germany tried it twice. And they just try and they take and they take and they take, but then they lose it. Like you can lose it So why?
Why?
It's like if Mexico.
that risk?
It's like if Mexico tomorrow. It's like, you know what? We miss Texas. We're gonna take it back, and then a war starts. For what? For Texas? Like for that land? What are you gonna do with it?
I think it has to be more of just an ego thing. They just want to be more of a superpower country. I mean, there's no really.
Well, Hitler.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's how I started off.
Finally, we hit this
Anyway,
topic.
Come on, you're first to break the ice.
Well,
Hitler.
supposedly his reasons were. Well, we all know. Did you just?
Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay. His reasons were basically just him being racist and him wanting to be, what is it? The only race alive, the superior race, is what they call it.
Okay, and
so
that's fucked up.
Yeah,
Right. And I get he has a purpose. He has a purpose of why he wants to go and conquer, because he wants to be the only race.
And then also the religion too. He wanted to stop all the other religions besides his. He wanted to make sure his was the only one. All the other religions were tearing him down, so he wanted to tear them down. His theory was that the Jews were eventually going to rule the world and like get all the money and stuff and, you know, kill everyone. So he wanted to do it before they ever tried anything. But that was just in his own head. That was his own theory. He truly believed that, man. He truly believed that. And so...
No, he 100% believed it.
He was on board with that till
death. Supposed death.
But then again...
Supposed death.
Isn't that crazy? Those German cities in Argentina?
Did you not know that?
I didn't know that till a couple years ago.
So apparently...
You know about that, Hernan?
Oh, yeah. So I was looking it all up. Yeah, so do you want to...
I was just going to give just a quick gist about it. I don't know about the whole theory of how his like body escaped and whatnot. But it's a known fact that a bunch of the Gestapos or the Nazis, like the real high up people, like the legit ones, they escaped to Argentina.
Yeah.
They were like, nah, we're out. And they go to Argentina. They land there. They have a beautiful, establish their life, establish their own little small communities in Argentina, which is why Argentina is heavily influenced by German. A lot.
I didn't even know that.
Skin tone, everything, the interbred.
There's full-blown speaking communities of just German.
Fully German, bro.
That's
in
insane.
Argentina.
Yeah, so they supposedly bought like a huge piece of land over in Argentina that was right next to some big docks that are capable of storing and docking U-boats, which is what they used back then. And so the whole thing, for people who don't know, supposedly Hitler, he killed himself with the cyanide pill. No, his wife did. And then, another thing was...
Weren't they going to do it together and he like...
Yeah, I think it was stout. And so there was a whole nother thing about him having
that's crazy.
a brain aneurysm or something. But yeah, in the end, they said he shot himself. And
he saw what it did. He's like,
nah, I don't know.
I'm not doing that. That don't look...
Argentina sounds kind of good, right?
Yeah, it's like the beach. It's like, oh, man, that's...
Yeah, so what were they? The Russians?
Yeah. Russians were the one that finally came in.
Yeah, so the Russians supposedly had found his remains burnt. So supposedly he was already burnt up in ashes, and they could never really confirm. And it wasn't even confirmed until, like, it didn't come out into the news until, like, I think they said a month later in the news that he was confirmed dead. But
so did Argentina win the World Cup or did Germany?
Nah, Argentina. They don't really mess around with who's on their team.
Someone was saying, like, how come there's no, dark skinned players in Argentina?
That's why I say they don't mess around with who's on their national team.
hey, did y'all know Nazis were meth heads?
Yeah, dude.
I think they were like, they were like high on Adderall and Coke, I think. And
No, so back then, you know how like all this other crazy stuff was legal back then because they were just finding out about it. So back then, a bunch of doctors came together and made these pills. They were like these super pills. They wanted to make super soldiers, wanted everybody to have extra strength, be awake at all times.
Germany was playing creative mode at one point. They were fucking with everything. You know, sorry, just real quick.
Go ahead.
You know that a lot of like our medical procedures and medicine is because of all the experiments they did on the human body. We're like, oh, you can survive without an arm. Oh, we can go in and replace this.
It's
and
so
it works.
scary, man.
And it's because they were just trying. They were trial and error. They were like, oh, that didn't work. Nah, bring in the next one. We'll do it different. Like that is crazy, dude.
So you're saying in a way they helped us out.
I mean,
Is that what you're saying?
medical procedures, yeah.
I feel like
I don't think you can deny that.
I feel like everything bad that's happened ever in history has in a way benefited us in understanding how it works, like the atomic bomb, with the one we dropped on Japan.
Two
Two of them,
dropped.
Yeah.
Two.
and now we know. Hey, now we know, man. This what this can do.
Now
and,
we know that if you're in the vicinity, just don't even run.
Just enjoy the view, man, because
just
it's
make sure you leave a cool shadow or something, because that's all that's gonna be left. Is your
But
shadow.
imagine if it wasn't for that, we would never know, unless someone else drops it before we would have.
And you know what? We would have never known meth was bad for us if it wasn't for them. Because I think they came up with that and they made it into pills and they just gave it to like all the Nazi soldiers.
And they were like,
And
these guys
then-
are
No,
out
they
of their
were,
mind.
at first it worked. It surprised everybody. That's why
Oh,
they were
really?
able to take everything so quickly, because it was like everybody was caught by surprise. Everybody was like, "What the fuck? Why are they still awake? Like, why are they still fighting?" Because they were on meth. They were taking these pills like all times of the day, every day. And
You think part of their fall was because there was just no more meth and they still have serious withdrawals?
I don't know. It
And
could be.
they're like,
That's an interesting theory.
need my fucking meth.
yeah. So in the end, yeah, they all just kind of ended up going a little crazy because they became meth heads, and so you seen that.
Yeah,
It's
I
sad.
seen Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. There you go.
They start digging holes for no reason.
There's a lot of conspiracies with that, man. And I wish there was one way to ever find out. I guess when we meet my
I
creator.
don't know what your beliefs are, but
Well, I know when I get up there,
I'm gonna be like, "Can you play me a movie? Just push play. I want to see all of it, from the
JFK.
single cell organism to whatever you made."
So who killed Epstein? What's his name?
Epstein's gonna be like, that one.
That one,
That one's gonna be funny.
That one's gonna cost you a little bit. But no, dude, all these conspiracy deaths. Well, what's your thought on that?
Conspiracy deaths. I heard the one about, the only one that I really know about is the Michael Jackson one, that he never really died.
I was gonna ask you
Really?
about that, Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
apparently he never really died. So there was this one point where he was super popular. He was still like at that point where his skin was still like dark. You could tell he was still black.
Mm-hmm.
And he was doing a performance. And some of the fireworks, it was a malfunction and it blew up in his face. There's video of it, and it like engulfs his face, and he has to be rushed to the back for medical emergency.
Right, he
It
just got burned in the face.
It that burned so hot that's when he had to do the facial reconstruction. That's whenever he came out and was like, "Whoa, Michael, like, what are you doing? You don't,
Yeah.
because he was technically a burn victim. People were saying, bro, he's a burn victim. Like, leave him alone. That's why he looks the way he looks." But eventually, there was this one interview with, I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was. It was some hip hop artist. And he was like, "Hey, we're going to the movies." He's like, "I was going to the movies with Michael." But I think that's funny. They were gonna go to the movies together.
Yeah.
He was like, "So I'm waiting for Michael outside the movies, and this dude taps me on the shoulder, and it's like a big, tall, not tall, but just a big, wide set, white guy."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" And he's like, "It's me, Michael."
It's
So the voice match, and he was like, "Holy shit!" And then they showed the video, and it looked so real. And he's like, "Dude, this guy was Michael." You could tell, obviously, when he started speaking, he's like, "But I did not recognize him at all." And then once Michael, I think when he died, or like before he died, there was this other guy that just came out of nowhere. I forgot his name. What was it? Andy, something like that. Basically, he started coming out like on the news outlets, talking about Michael Jackson, talking about stuff, and it was so weird because they sounded very similar. Very similar. They had the same mannerisms as far as, like, you know how you can tell me from my
Yeah.
eyes, I can tell her from his eyes. The eyes matched and everything, and they were like, "Is that Michael?"
Wait a minute.
They were like, "That they look way too similar. They sound alike. He is a burn victim."
That guy was a burn victim too.
Yeah, that guy was a burn victim.
No.
Yeah.
I gotta see that,
And it
man.
was-
This is the first time I hear about
It is
this.
so crazy to me when I hear that, because they put him side by side, how Michael looks and speaks with his eyes, and that dude was doing the same stuff. And I was like, "Oh my god, let me find out."
Dang.
He always hated being famous. I think at one point he's like, "I just want to be."
I think
normal."
everyone does.
Yeah.
At a point.
Yeah, especially him though. Like, you got to think about it. Yeah, everybody
All the
famous has to
accusations
hate
or
it.
what?
Yeah, just because you get no privacy, you don't get to do anything without like being seen. You know, you can't be on your own at any time.
I saw
You
that
always-
one Justin Bieber TikTok. You see that one?
No.
So there was this one where they compiled all the videos of him when he first got famous.
He's all jolly dolly.
They're like, hey, kid, what do you think about this fame? He's like, I don't know, man. He's like, it's pretty cool. I must be doing something right. And then it's the next one, and he's like, okay. And then the next one, he's like, bro, can y'all leave me alone, please? He's like, y'all are annoying. And there's one like, y'all are like flies all on my face. Get the fuck out the way, flicking them off. And it's sad to see the transition of a young kid so excited to be famous to the point where the paparazzi got so obnoxious.
Yeah.
That at one point he was begging them. He's like, please let me walk from here to the corner. Please, I'm begging you. Just let me be a normal person. He said that, let me be a normal person. And the guy was like, that's crazy. And he just kept taking pictures. Like, what?
Yeah, man. After a few pics, and then you can go ahead and keep on your walk.
That's how they make their living, though. But
I don't agree with that.
them.
That's really weird.